What is up, world? It is Wednesday at 4 o'clock real time, 5 o'clock for those of you over on the East Coast, and the rest of you, it's still the middle of your workday. Sorry about your luck. But for the rest of us, those of us that are the cool kids on the block, it means it is time for our brain break where we get to sit back, relax, and have a little fun with an amazing guest, playing some games, just living life. So we'll see you in about 15 seconds on the other side for Brain Break. All right, world, it is Brain Break time. It is Wednesday afternoon. I almost said the date, but I realized I have no idea what the date is. I know it's Wednesday. It's May the 4th. How could I forget it? May the 4th.
Star Wars Day, man.
May the 4th. And we are here streaming live on all of the things: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, YouTube. You name it, we're here. We are taking over the world, giving you that much needed break in the middle of your week. And for those of you that join us every single week, you can see that Jeff Gargas got a much needed facelift. He looks way better today. He's smiling today. He doesn't look grumpy today. He's letting me talk today. No, it's not Jeff Gargas. Instead, total upgrade today. We've got the one and only Ray Porton hanging out for Brain Break today. Ray, my friend, how are you?
I am doing well, Dave. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Can I say that you are my favorite Ray? I'm gonna say it. You're my favorite Ray.
You can go there. I mean, I don't know. I don't have to work with
the other Ray. If he's actually watching and comments on this, then we can have that conversation. But I think I'm pretty safe saying that you are my favorite Ray.
We'll see what happens. I appreciate that.
Ray, I'm super excited to be able to hang out with you. I reached out to you a while ago and said, hey, Gargas is bailing. You want to hang out and play some games, talk a little shop, just relax. And then I had to ask again and again, send a few $100s your way, some chocolates, incentivize but you're here. And I appreciate you finding some time in your busy schedule to hang out.
Oh, my pleasure. This was, I know you said you sent out, and as we realized today, I'm a fool and put my work phone number, which doesn't have text messaging, on some form that you have of mine. And so we got that cleared up, and I got to be here, and now I'm excited. Can I tell you, I'm a little nervous about the game. Like you keep talking about this game that I'm not allowed to know about until we open it. So, I'm pretty, I can do improv stuff, but I don't know. Like, we'll see what this game is.
Yeah, well, for whatever it's worth, I'm nervous too. The phone number thing. Let's talk that real quick, because I don't think this was an accident, Ray. I think what happened was I reached out and said, "Hey, can I get your number?" And you're like, "Yes. Here's the number you can have, Dave. Send me all the messages you want." And I've been left on red for like 2 years now. You don't ever respond to me. It's like this one-way relationship, and then come to find out, it's your work number that I've been trying to send all these texts to.
But yeah, I don't know how that happened. And like, now let's be on it. We're hooked up on Voxer, and as soon as you put a Vox out, I'm responding, so that's I honestly, and that, do you ever find that you get into that? Like, do I put this number down or this email down or that, because like for emails, for instance, like I have my personal email, I have my work email, and I'm always on my work email and I'm rarely on my personal email. So it's like, if I want someone to get to me right away, I give them my work email, even though if I ever didn't have this job, then I'd have to change that. But, I don't know.
See, I don't have friends. So I just give people one number, one email, and say, please just reach out whenever you can. And I guess maybe I should try a different route, because that way is not working for me. So I'll come up with like a Google phone number or something like that I can send to people, so I can be like a little sample to say, do these people really want to be my friend? Will they hit me up on a new number that nobody else has, like part of this exclusive club? We'll see what happens.
If you came up with a new number, then you'd have the option to also do the like new number, who dis, and you don't have to respond, like.
Well played. Yeah. Okay. Give me some food for thought here, Ray. Love it. You did mention, though, that the number that I have, which will be updated for whoever cares, I've got the real one now, and I'll just share with the world. It is 84. I'm just kidding. I'm not real. But I do have the real number now. Your number that you'll use at home and on the weekend, so I can really bother you. But you are more than just the guy that's hanging out at home waiting for my calls. You got a day job. What do you do, Ray Porton, for people that are wondering who this Ray guy is? First of all, again, if you don't know who the real Ray is, he's here. What do you do, Ray?
So I am an assistant principal, or I'm a principal of an elementary school. So I in all truth, I've been elbow deep in applications for my assistant principal position because my assistant principal, he's moving up in the world. He's going to the middle school, and couldn't be happier for him.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Tell him congrats for me. That's very cool.
Yeah, he just announced it to the staff yesterday, so now I can talk about it.
Okay.
But so that's been on my brain all night and day, like trying to replace this guy who's amazing. So shout out to John. And but yeah, so I'm a principal though of an elementary school in Round Lake, Illinois, at Indian Hill Elementary School. And I mean, if you ask me what I do, it differs every day. And so like that's what I love about it, is there is no like, I'm going to work today and it's going to look just like yesterday. It looks nothing like it did yesterday, nor would it thought I was going to look like. So I do that. I have two wonderful boys, a 6th grader and a 4th grader, who they keep me busy with Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts and cooking and just hanging out. And then my wife is amazing. I mean, she puts up with me, so she's got to be like an angel or something. And so, and when I find time, my assistant principal, John, and I, we podcast together, and yeah, just trying to keep busy, trying to just enjoy life.
You are super busy. I remember, so we got connected, what, 2 years ago? Maybe more longer than that. I don't know. It's been a while. And you are seemingly one of the busiest people I know, but all the busyness is always this good stuff, where I feel like you do this amazing job of prioritizing your time and making sure that if you're busy, you're focusing on the stuff that you want to be focused on and the stuff that needs to happen. You do a great job of dismissing the rest.
I try. I mean, I try. It's hard, but honestly, if you don't do that, then how do you get through life, is the way I look at it. So
yeah. So is it fair for me to say that this right now is a priority in your life? Hanging out on brain break, relaxing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, you posted that Vox, and I had to hold back and not respond right away because I was like, oh, I don't want to be that guy who like is like, yeah, I'm in. But as soon as I was like, all right, I'm in. Yeah, if you need me, I'm in. And so I don't know if you remember my message. It was like, I'll do it if I make the cut. It's cool. Like, and I was like sitting anxiously, like waiting, like, oh, I hope he picks me.
Well, and I waited around about an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, hoping somebody else would chime in. So I could, as soon as I saw that thing, the side box came your way, and you were in. Because again, I'd been left on red for about 2 weeks, and I figured, last ditch effort. I'll just see if anybody in this group will want to do it. And thank God you came through for me, Ray. Thank God.
I was happy to.
Sitting there listening to me drone on and on for an hour and playing a game by myself. Like, how do you win rock, paper, scissors with your? It just would have been really weird, really awkward. So I'm glad you're here.
Me too. This is always fun. I remember. Do you remember? Man, it was like almost 2 years ago. You and Jeff were doing your brain break, and you guys had posted something saying like, hey, if you're interested, like, here's a link. And I thought I was going to be able to like sit in the audience and watch through this link. And I clicked the link, and all of a sudden I see a little button that says you're backstage, wait for the host to let you in. And I'm literally sitting at home in like a t-shirt with no couch, like just chilling, thinking I'm going to get to watch this. And all of a sudden I'm live with you and Jeff. And I'm not going to lie, Jeff Gargas intimidates me. Like, I don't know if I've ever told you, like, I've never had enough of a conversation, but he intimidates me. So, like, I was freaking out, like, oh my God, like, I hope I don't do something stupid here.
All right. So anybody that's watching this right now, tag Jeff Gargas right now so that he can start watching this. So Jeff Gargas intimidates you.
Yeah.
That's something I have never heard from anybody ever. The guy's a teddy bear.
And I know he's super nice. It's not that he's ever done anything.
I didn't say nice. I didn't say nice. I did not say he's super nice. I said he's a teddy bear. Okay. Teddy Ruxpin was a teddy bear, but there's also like Five Nights at Freddy is a teddy bear too, right? So you can go a lot of different directions with he's a teddy bear. So how can this teddy bear intimidate? I don't know.
It's just something about him. He just like he has this air of like professionalism and like he's just, I don't know. Like, to me, you ever meet those people where you just look at them and they're like, man, they like, that's a guy who is like looking for like good, like working hard and everything. And I'm like, I don't know if I live up to what this guy is looking for. So I'm just going to like coast with him.
Fair enough. So let me replay what I just heard through the Dave Schmittou lens. Okay, I just heard Dave Schmittou and Jeff Gargas invited Ray Porton to come on. You're like, all right, but then you realize Jeff was there, and you're intimidated because Jeff looks like he's got his stuff together, and Jeff looks like he's got high expectations, and Jeff feels like he's striving for excellence. And then there was Dave. So what I'm hearing is that I lower the bar for you. You feel like you're in my standards, but Jeff Gargas, that's an intimidating force. That's what I heard.
If I would have, and then there's Dave, who I've had conversations with and I've gotten to know, and is just so approachable and such an amazing guy that I would look forward to hanging out with him.
Nice try. I'm not buying it. But well played. Well played.
Hey, I signed up. You put it out. I signed up. I wanted to be here with you, not with Jeff.
Fair enough. I'll take it. Speaking of people hanging out, let's say hey to Bree, who the creator of our Brain Break games, the mythical, magical games that you still don't know what we're playing today. But all I can say is,
no, I don't.
Pipes. Get ready for some singing. I'm kidding. Well, maybe.
Please.
Based on your reaction, we'll see. I also want to say hey to Joe Gonzalez hanging out with us today. And anybody else that's tuning in, thanks for hanging out in the middle of your week and hanging out with us as we just talk about some randomness, try to give you a break from whatever monotony you're going through. If you are in the countdown right now and you're looking towards the end of the year, I'm curious how many days you have left. I was telling you, Ray, here in Florida where I am, my kids, they only have like 2.5 weeks left of school, which is crazy to me. I was talking to somebody yesterday who they go until the end of June. When's your last day where you are?
I want to say it is June 2nd.
Okay.
We have a half day June 2nd. So I think we have like 21 days. I don't know.
Okay.
21 days, I think,
Okay. So you can feel right.
I tell the teachers, I tell the kids, I never know because I work all year long. So I just come to work one day and nobody's here. And I'm like, oh, yesterday was the last day of school. Like, okay, cool. Like,
well, let me ask you this. How many days left do you have this week?
2 after today.
2. So you can do that, right?
I can do that.
Bite-sized chunk. We can do this.
Yep.
We can do this. And right now you've only got like 47 more minutes of this. So progress. Just look at those little milestones and just keep moving forward. Just keep kicking the ball down the field.
Hey, this is let's do this.
Okay. I want to ask you about something that we talked about a lot a couple of years ago. You used to do this thing. I don't know if you still do with your kids. The food thing where they would cook these meals from around the world. Do you still do that? And if so, where are you at in this progress? If not, fill everybody else in. So basically tell people what I'm talking about if it's still happening.
So, in the midst of everybody not being able to leave their house and lockdown and all that kind of fun stuff with COVID, trying to find ways to just make stuff fun with the boys and spend that time and quality. So we started cooking on Saturday nights together. And so my youngest one wants to be the world's greatest chef. If you ask him what he wants to be when he gets older, it's not a chef, it's the world's greatest chef. And he's determined to do this. And so on Saturday nights, him and I would cook meals together. And then my oldest one wanted it. So now we alternate every other Saturday night. They cook a meal with me. And when I say with me, it's usually them cooking or them being the head chef and telling me what to do. Like when they don't want to devein shrimp, that's my job. I become the sous chef and I get to do that. But to try to make it, mix it up a little bit, what we were having them do is one of them would pick a country and the other one had to research that country and come up with some meals that they wanted that were traditional from that country. And then we would make that on Saturday night. So we've changed over the years. I mean, it's been 2 years, so we've changed it a little bit. The problem was we were running out of countries that they knew. Like, even though they had a map, because we were scratching off one of those maps where you scratch off for the country when we cook it from it, but when you just ask them to come up with countries, then they were coming up with countries that I couldn't even find traditional meals for. Like, it was getting rough. So we changed it up, and we're huge Food Network fans. So, whether it was Guys Grocery Games or Chopped or different things, we started playing some of those games where A couple weeks ago, I took my youngest one to the store. He wanted to do Guy Grocery Games budget battle. I literally gave him his own cart, gave him a $20 bill, and said, "You have to make dinner and for the 4 of us, and you can only use the $20 or any ingredients we have at the house. Go." And so while I shopped for our groceries for the week, he was with me shopping for his dinner for the night, Saturday night, and he was, I mean, really good. He's like, "Let's start at the protein section, find a protein, and then we'll go." Work from there. And I asked him what he had planned, and he decided, $20. He wanted to make sure he had something good, and he made omelets with mozzarella cheese and basil and mozzarella cheese, basil, and tomato. And then he wanted to do toast on the side with some sausage. So he made breakfast for dinner. And it was good. I mean, he made these nice rolled Japanese omelets. So it was fun. And so we keep changing it up just to mix it up a little bit. The last 2 weeks that we did it, it was the show Fast Foodies, where Leo got to pick a fast food, and Owen had to remake it into a fancy meal, like using something that like similar. So Leo picked McDonald's chicken nuggets and fries, and Owen turned that into, he did cauliflower fritters with over like roasted potatoes with a barbecue chicken, like shredded over the top with some cheese. And he made like a poutine out of it. It was really good. It was really cool. And you got the texture. I mean, they did a good job. So it's a lot of fun watching them. I don't want to do it with it at all. I just tell them that they have to make their signature dish, which means I sit on my computer in the kitchen and watch them, and they have to do it all on their own and come up with something on their own, and they make dinner. So it's really fun.
That is so cool. You talked earlier about being intimidated by somebody. What you just described to me is so intimidating. All of that, like, oh my gosh, that takes it to a whole nother level. You give me $20 in a grocery store and say you're making dinner. I'm getting $20 of frozen pizza and frozen burritos and maybe a 2-liter of Coke or something. That is impressive. That's impressive parenting. It's impressive that your kids do it and they have fun with it. So cool.
Cool. You know what? It's so much fun watching them and watching them learn the skills and even little things. I mean, when we first started, it was like, okay, guys, as you're chopping, potatoes up, like you want to make them all the same size so they cook evenly, and just, so they got those things now and they're figuring that out. And it's cool. And then it's fun when they start getting creative about, well, we want to try this or do that. And sometimes it gets scary and it's like, I don't know how that's going to work. So I try to steer, but a lot of times I let them go and they come up with some good stuff.
That's so cool. So for anybody that's on their way home right now and wondering what's for dinner, you got some ideas right here. And for those of you that are just on your way home and you are starving right now and you want us to do anything other than talk about food, I apologize. We will shift focus here in just a second to go to my favorite segment. So no worries. I'm curious to hear what Ray's thinking about. But I want to ask really quickly, favorite meal that your kids have ever made? What do you crave and wish they would make again?
So see, you're doing what my oldest one does to me all the time. He's always acting like, so what's your favorite meal we've made? And hoping I pick one of his meals. So I always have to be careful when I answer this one.
Okay, you can answer one from each one if you want to. That's fine.
Well, no, one of the things that they've both done that I love that they do is they make sushi. Like literally, like we will go and I will get like sushi grade tuna and everything, and they will slice it thin. They will make sushi. And my aunt and uncle, my uncle worked at a restaurant that has they were shutting down and they had sushi boats, those big wood boats that you put the sushi out on. And my boys will fill that thing up, making all different sushi rolls and all different stuff. And we'll sit and have sushi for dinner. And they would do it together. It's awesome. Leo got a sushi bazooka for Christmas, which is this tube that you roll your sushi in and you push it through and slice it as it's going. And it makes perfect size sushi rolls. So, I mean, it's awesome. We love sushi. And so it's fun watching them do that. So that is one of my favorites they do.
So cool. So just for the record, next time I'm in Illinois, the real phone number I have,
it's there now.
Ring in, but I'm not calling for you. I'm calling for your boys. Just so I can place an order. Just that. Oh my gosh, that is incredible. They were saying raise your kids right so that they never stray far. You are raising your kids right, focusing on those.
I'm hoping.
So good. So good. All right. So for those of you that are starving right now and we just ruined your drive, I apologize. Let's switch it up real quick, Ray. In just a second, we're going to enter into my favorite segment. So I want you to ponder a little bit. As Arsenio Hall used to say back in the day, we're going to talk about those things that make you go, So sit tight. In 19 seconds, I'm going to ask you one of my favorite questions. All right, we are back here on Brain Break, just hanging out with Ray Porton on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, LinkedIn. For those of you that really want to feel professional, know that we are there as well. We just got done talking about the amazing work he's doing with his own personal kids and turning them into these incredible chefs that have the palates for around the world. They want to just create things and continue to learn and inspire. And they've got my stomach just rumbling right now. We're just hanging out here on Brain Break, where we try to give you a break from reality, a break from the stress. And we're doing that right now through my favorite segment of the show, a segment where I can just kind of get inside of your head, try to figure out what's going on in your mind. We're not going to be talking politics. We're not going to be talking Supreme Court. We're not going to be talking about the stock market, unless you want to. But Ray Porton, I'm just curious, what you thinking?
Man, you don't want to go too far into my head. That is a scary place. You know what? Honestly, I have been thinking all day about. I can't wait for I don't know. Do you watch Moon Knight, the Marvel Disney Plus series?
Do I want to admit this? No, I don't. Oh.
The season finale's tonight, and I mean, you want to talk about just mind blowing? Like, I can't wait. It's something we do with my boys every Wednesday night. We make sure we fit this in. So I'm a little bummed that this is the last episode of the series or at least the season of it. And then, so that's on tonight. So part of me is thinking, okay, when I'm done here, I'm going to run home and pick up, or actually Wednesday night's Mexican night. So we're picking up Mexican food. And we're going to have some Mexican food and then watch Moon Knight, which I can't wait to see where they go with the ending.
Before we talk about Moon Knight, which I have no concept of whatsoever, I love that you just said Wednesday night is Mexican night, because there are people that just heard that and like, no, Tuesday is. And this week people are saying, no, Cinco de Mayo is. And you're like, no, Wednesday is. People, every night is Mexican night. Go get yourself a queso, go get yourself a margarita. Every night is Mexican night. So just do you and be happy about it. But don't forget tomorrow's Cinco de Mayo, so go celebrate that. Go have yourself some tacos and fill your plate all you need to tomorrow. Or Ray, what's your go-to Mexican dish? Are you like a chimichanga guy? Are you fajitas? What do you?
I'm a torta guy. I love a good torta, and
okay.
If it's up to me, it's got to be done right from the right place. But a torta cubano, which has everything. It's got ham. Usually, it's got hot dogs. It's usually got some sort of Milanese.
Hold on. Rewind.
Yeah.
You said it's got to be done right.
Yeah.
Normally it has hot dogs.
Yep. They slice hot dogs, ham, like some sort of breaded, lightly fried or pan fried steak or chicken, really thin, and then avocado, cheese. A lot of places do a fried egg on top, like I mean it's good. Jalapenos on it. It's good.
And this is how they do it in Illinois, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Mexican hot dogs. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. With avocado, cheese. Okay.
It sounds crazy. It was one of these things. I was working at a middle school here in Round Lake, and a parent brought in this like bag, and she's like, "Here, this is for my son for lunch." And I was like, "Well, he had lunch an hour ago. So do you want to take it home?" And she's like, "No, it's okay. You can have it." And I was like, "Well, what is it?" And I knew the family, and she's like, "It's a torta cubano." I'm like, "What's that?" And she's like, "Oh, you have never had that?" So I know, and I'm like, "All right." So I opened it up and I like dug into that thing, and like 12 years later, that is my go-to now, is a good torta.
Wow. Okay. Well, you are opening my horizons left and right here tonight. I'm gonna have to go to a Mexican restaurant and say, "You have any of those fried hot dog thingies?" and see what happens. Okay.
I know it sounds, I'm telling you though, I'll eat one for lunch and won't eat dinner that night because it's like I'm stuffed.
Okay. All right, I'll give it a shot. But I went there. I know that wasn't the thing that you were thinking. You were thinking about watching this epic finale with your kids night. Wednesday nights for me are all about watching Survivor. So that's where I'm glued in. So tell me about this Marvel show. Is it a superhero? I'm guessing then if it's Marvel. Okay.
So he's kind of an anti-hero, it's about a guy, and I don't want to give too much away. I mean, it's still, we're not in that 20-year like non-spoiler, but he's a it's kind of one of those like offbeat heroes you don't hear a lot about ever, but it's a guy with multiple personalities who is the what is he called? The avatar for an Egyptian god, the Egyptian god who like judges whether people are good or bad, and like, so Khonshu, and so it's Khonshu. It's really it's cool. But the neat part about this series is you don't know what's in the guy's head, what's real, what's not. You can't figure out if like he's all just crazy and this is all made up, or if it's like really happening, and there, so I mean it's pretty cool.
It kind of feels like somebody's telling my life story here. A guy that's constantly judging people to say they're good or bad. He's not sure if what's reality and what's not, and people aren't sure if he's real or if it's all a show. Huh? That's interesting.
I can relate. That's why I'm digging it.
I like it. Okay. Kind of makes you feel like you're a superhero though when you see this. You're like, if he can do it, I can do it. Okay.
Look at me having a little bit messed up, and I can still be a superhero. I'm good with this. So
it's Disney Plus.
Disney Marvel? Plus, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check this thing out. Okay. How many seasons?
So now you're a Survivor guy?
I am, yeah.
So once the boys go to bed, I usually watch Survivor because they don't want to watch it, and I'm into it.
Okay.
Season.
Oh, you froze on me.
Sorry, you got me now?
Yeah.
How do you like this season of Survivor?
So it's interesting, right? Because those people that haven't watched Survivor, yes, it's still on CBS, 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Wednesday night. So the basic premise again, you got people, last person standing on this island wins $1 million. They vote each other off. They do games, contests, whatever. So this season, it's another abbreviated season. So last season, they shortened their time on the island by about a week and a half. So they're really making things go quickly. This season is almost like a repeat of the format. They announced early on that they filmed their seasons back to back. So there's 2 seasons on the same island. They crown a winner, and then literally 3 days later, the next crew comes out and they do the same thing. So it's a social experiment where they're trying to see if they tweak games slightly, if they tweak clues slightly, do people perform differently? That part of it, I'm loving, just to try to see if people are still doing the same things differently. But I got to be honest, I like that suspense. I like the intrigue of not necessarily knowing what's coming next and trying to figure out how I would behave. And right now, all I'm doing is comparing the last 2 seasons and putting myself in their shoes. Wasn't a big fan of the last Tribal Council. And I'm just, I don't know. I'm trying to stay hooked and connected. It's my all-time favorite show, but this season's been a struggle for me. What about you?
I agree. This season has been a struggle for me. I'm not as big a fan of some of the new twists they put in with the different things with the hidden idols and stuff. I don't know if I can get behind any of these contestants really. Like usually there's 1 or 2 contestants that I can be like, I really hope he or she wins. Yeah. And this season it's like, I don't mind this person, but and there's also no real big like villain on this season that you're like, I want to see what they're going to do next. Like it's kind of like, I don't know. It's not bad, but I will admit, I can't really say I'm enjoying the season as much as normal.
Do you have an all-time favorite?
All-time favorite, like season or person? What was the guy's name? He was like a New York fireman. I think he was a fireman.
Yeah, just a couple of years ago, right?
He's from Boston. He always wore a Boston Red Sox hat.
Oh, Boston Rob?
Boston Rob. I like Boston Rob, and I loved Colby.
Okay.
I was a huge fan of Colby.
So, true story. Boston Rob lives just down the street. He and his wife Amber with their kids, they live just down the street. I think it was last week and the week before, I was at the gym on a Sunday morning. I was there completely by myself, and Rob walked in, and it was on the treadmill right behind me. So I'm like taking pictures for my wife. I'm like, do I go? Do I not? Do I go talk? What do I do? so he's not normally there. He's been posting a lot of things online about Jeff Probst, bring me back. I'm ready to do another show. And then he's at the gym working out. I'm wondering, is he trying to get that Fiji body back? Because Boston Rob might be going back on the show. I'm just saying. I'll go do a drive-by.
We're not going to get in trouble from Jeff Probst and the station for like letting leaks out here, are we? Are we like breaking news?
Rob hasn't told me anything. It's just me trying to infer. I know Amber's completely done. She's just hanging out with the kids, but don't be shocked if Rob doesn't make a comeback. I'm just saying. Just saying. So
what about you? Who's your favorite?
Probably, Boston Rob for sure. I mean, he's been around forever. I went to a costume party probably 15 years ago, reality TV costume party, and I dressed like Rob. So he and his family, literally, they live down the street. We see them at the ice cream shops. We see them at water parks, all that kind of stuff. And I fanboy out every single time.
Have you talked to him yet?
Like common practice. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure he thinks that I'm a stalker because I'm like everywhere he goes, I'm there. And I just take it that we're both in sync. We both so yeah, he's definitely my favorite.
Okay.
Cool. Well, he's a great game player, really good at strategy, all those sorts of things. He's
right, here we go.
Yeah, you feel it. You feel the segue coming. Okay,
I feel it coming.
So one of the things I love about Survivor is that, he can still. I'm sorry, Mark Heller.
I see that.
Yes, I'm still Detroit Dave. I will always be a guy from Michigan, even though I live in Florida. So he can still be Boston Rob, still wears the Boston Red Sox stuff, even though he's a Florida transplant now as well. What happened was he simply saw the light and said, I love everything about the people in the place, but the cold up there is miserable. Let me come down and live on the beach. So I did the same thing, Heller. I did the same thing. So yeah, I told you that we'll be playing a game today. I told you to be ready, that the games are fun, but that I don't make the games anymore. I don't create them. They're kind of a shock to the system. We kind of learn them and try them out for the first time together. I'm saying all this just to kind of scare you a little bit and intimidate you.
Intimidate me so I don't perform as well so you can beat me, I guess. Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay,
just so that we can see you sweat and really get worried. Are you nervous?
I'm a little nervous. It'd be different if I knew what the game was, where I could be like, all right, I got this, but we'll see. Speaking of games, and what are you thinking? Have you seen that show on Netflix? I don't know if I can say it, so I'll just say BS, they call it.
Yes, the Howie Mandel one. Yes.
Yeah. Have you watched an episode of that?
I watched one episode the other night. Yeah, I
kind of want to go on that show. I just found it last night. I kind of want to go on that show.
So people that don't know, go check it out. He gave you the abbreviation for the show. I'm not sure what we're allowed to say or not either, but BS. But goes by the real name. And it's a trivia show, but if you don't know the right answer, you just have to convince everybody else that you actually did know the right answer. And if at least one person thinks you knew it, you get to stay and keep trying to win money. So
yeah,
it's
I kind of want to go on that show. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah. So if you're an amazing liar, it's a show for you. So don't know what that says about you, Ray Porton, that you're like, yeah, I could win money.
I'm not saying I'd be good at it. I just think it'd be fun to be on it.
Awesome. I'll tell you what, just in case you never get on the Netflix show, how about we play a game here and we see what you can do. All right. All right, welcome back to Brain Break, where we are jumping into game time on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, LinkedIn, all of the places. Ray Porton is here. He's sweating profusely. He's super nervous. You should have seen him during that 10-second commercial. I mean, he was freaking out, people.
Stretching. I'm freaking out.
Yeah, he doesn't want to pull a hammy.
Cram. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, but it's all good. I actually was just looking at the game. I think you're going to be okay.
Okay.
Now, I've had people on here before where I think it was Tara Martin or Tisha Richmond, somebody, and they had to sing songs and they had to hum things. You don't have to do that.
Thank God.
I've had people on here with Play-Doh and they've had to craft things out of clay. You don't have to do that. I've asked trivia questions. I put people on the spot. Last time I was on here with Jeff Gargas, one of his questions were name one of my kids, and he couldn't do that. So completely humiliated him. And so I'm not going to do that to you. No worries. Today's game, sent to us by the amazing Brienne Fennell, is a classic. It's a good one. Takes very little skill, very little talent. So it's a game I think you're going to do just fine in, Ray.
All right.
It is simply creating Mad Libs. We're going to be creating some Mad Libs today.
Ooh, all right.
And where I ask you to put in some parts of speech and throw some words my way, and we're going to create a story. And in her directions, she said it's all in the spirit of Teacher Appreciation Week. Teacher Appreciation Week going on right now. So teachers hopefully feeling the love this week. This is an opportunity for us to create some teacher appreciation stories that, again, shouldn't probably admit this, I haven't previewed. Teachers, don't ever have your students do something that you haven't previewed. Don't have them play a game you haven't looked at. Don't let them watch a movie or TV show that you haven't done. Don't do what I'm doing right now. We want you to vet things. However, we're going to play this in real time. We're going to create this Mad Lib, and we're both going to find out what this looks like. It's not about trusting me. We're trusting Brianne Fennel here.
No, that's what I'm saying. We can trust her.
Yeah, so definitely. We trust her. Don't trust me. If I said I created this, I would advise you to say, can I get a preview of it first? But this is Bree. So Bree, thank you for sharing this. It looks like we have a couple of them that we can play here. So if people want to play along with us and if they want to send some stuff in the comments, they can. Otherwise, Ray, it's on you. Okay?
Here we go.
So the first one, it's titled The Dog Ate It. So I've got lots of thoughts about what the story might be, but let's just go down and I need you to give me some words to fill in and then we'll figure out what the story is. All right?
All right, so, here we go.
Adjective.
Large.
Large. How about a plural noun?
Pins.
Pins.
Yes.
Okay, so my dialect has changed a little bit since my time up north. Pins and pens kind of sound the same to me. So
I'm saying pins like
pin,
pins.
like pin.
Yes.
Pin the tail of the donkey. Got it. Pins. Okay. Adjective.
Spicy.
Ooh. You're thinking Mexican food. You're ready for dinner. I can tell. Silly word.
Schmeagle.
Schmeagle?
Sounds, yes, just like that.
Okay. Look at you. Are you a Lord of the Rings guy?
I am not actually. I've read The Hobbit, and that's about as far as I've gotten. I haven't even watched all the movies.
Okay. Fair enough. But Schmeagle came to your head for some reason. Got it. All right, cool. Noun. It's gonna be noun twice here, so two different nouns.
All right. Let's go hat.
Hat.
I like it. Let's go jaguar.
Jaguar. All right. Okay. Ironically, the next one is animal.
Oh, I gotta do this for my son. Let's go with a pangolin. Not a penguin, but a pangolin.
Is that a real thing?
It is a real thing.
And what is a pangolin then? You got to fill me in on this.
Kind of similar to like an aardvark armadillo. It's got like big scales, but it's like a little armadillo looking thing.
You're not just playing with me right now. You're being serious.
No, seriously, it's a real thing.
So it's not like a jackalope where you just combine two animals. It's a real thing. Okay.
Yep, it's real.
Pangolin.
I've seen one in person at the Brookfield Zoo. They have a whole pangolin exhibit. My son is infatuated with it. He thinks they're awesome. So
I'm looking up. So I'm keeping track of my own homework tonight. These fried hot dogs from a Mexican restaurant and a pangolin so far, and the new show or the show on Disney Plus.
Moon Knight.
Got it. Okay. So giving me some homework. Appreciate it. All right. So we got pangolin. Mm-hmm. Now I need a past tense verb.
Ate. Like I ate something.
Gotcha. Because the number 8 is not a past tense.
No, I did know that.
In my face because for some reason you said 8, and the only thing I could go with was yes, I am hungry. I wish I could have eaten, but that's okay. Occupation.
Chef.
Okay. Adjective. We have 2 adjectives coming up here.
2 adjectives. Let's go with quick.
Okay.
And strong.
Quick and strong. Got it. Almost done here. Plural noun.
Hot dogs. Let's go with that.
I love it. Okay. Noun.
Pencil.
Okay. Plural noun.
Monkeys.
Monkeys. 2 more here. Number.
44.
Okay, I thought you were going to go with 8 this time just to clarify things for me, but you didn't. And part of the body.
Earlobe.
Earlobe. You know how to play this game, sir. Yeah, you could have just said hand, foot, mouth. No, you went earlobe.
You got to make it
animal,
fun.
You could have said dog. No, you went pangolin. For silly word, you went with schmiegel. Okay, I'm curious now. So again, the title of the story that you just created is The Dog Ate It. Okay, The Dog Ate It. So as I read the story, I want people to start making those connections of how could you use something like this in your classroom, regardless of what you teach. So let's see. Here's the story. Hopefully you're ready for this, right? As a teacher, I hear a lot of large excuses about why my pins don't turn in their homework. Here are the top 5 most spicy ones of all time. An alien from planet Schmeagol landed in my backyard, and when my hat asked them to take out the garbage, I got sucked up into the Jaguar ship. My pet Pangolin ate it. Then, wait a second. Yeah, my pet penguin ate it. I got confused because 8 is here and it's also your verb. So my pet penguin ate it, then ate it up, then ate it again. Holy cow. Well played, sir. Well played. That was good. I'm running for chef of the United States, and I had to work on my quick campaign speech. On the way home from school, a band of strong pirates looking for gold hot dogs insisted I turn over my backpack or walk the pencil. I was too busy breaking the world record for most monkeys eaten in 44 minutes while balancing on one earlobe. Well done.
I think that works. I think it works.
Well, I don't know if it does. But I'm thinking about just some ways to incorporate this. Obviously, there's the obvious. It's a good part of speech assessment to try to figure out if kids know their parts of speech. But I think it's also a great opportunity for revision. What if you told students that they had to go and they had to revise every adjective and come up with a different adjective and change the story or come up with a better word? Or let's say that you were focusing on characterization and you said, I just need you to go in and change 3 of the characters to the story and see if they can identify who the characters are. Or you have to keep all of the Mad Libs the same, but change every other word to make a story that makes sense. And there's a reading or writing task that you could do for this.
You could talk synonyms,
you could,
antonyms. I mean, there's lots you could do with that. Like you said, comprehension wise, you could even use it as sentence starters or like story idea frames, like where you start with a Mad Lib and they have to finish, like.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah. So this is like chapter 1.
Yeah.
And then you go on and now you write the sequel and have it all come back together again. I like that. Huh. All right, Brie Fennel. She's up to something here with these games. So she sent 2 of them, actually. You up for playing another one real quick?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay. So the second one is called The Best Things About Being a Teacher. Oh, again, for teacher appreciation, the best things about being a teacher.
All right.
Give me 1, 2. Well, let's see. We're going to do adjectives first. I'm going to do this a little bit differently. So instead of doing them all in order, because I don't want you to be able to try to figure out what the story is. Gotcha. I want you to just start throwing things out here. How about you give me 1, 2, 3 adjectives?
All right. Miniature.
Wow. Okay.
Blue.
And
sweaty.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Sweaty. How about another adjective? Give me 1 more.
Let's go with the theme of hungry.
Okay, I like it. All right, how about 2 different plural nouns?
Let's go with runners.
I like it. Okay.
And shows.
Okay. How about just a regular old noun?
Airplane.
Okay. How about an adverb? The tricky one that my students always struggled with, an adverb. It's those ly words, lolly, lolly, lolly. Get your adverbs here. Those ones that describe a verb.
Describe a verb. So like quickly.
Quickly is a good one. Yeah. Okay. And how about an occupation?
Let's go with nurse.
Okay. Let's see how this one worked out. Again, the best things about being a teacher by Ray Porton. So he gets all the blame or all the credit. So teachers, hate mail can go to Ray Porton. Hit me up. I'll give you his real phone number and you can text him. So here we go. The best thing about being a teacher. There are a lot of miniature things about being a teacher. There are actually a lot of miniature things about being a teacher, a lot of details. First of all, you get to teach blue subjects like math, science, and runners. And who wouldn't want to talk about runners all day? Second, that's actually true. Who wouldn't want to talk about running all day? That
I would not.
A side note, that's actually why we now have a schedule for Brain Break, because Ray said, all you guys do is talk about running all the time. But here we go. Even in a Mad Lib, we get to talk about running.
Dave, okay, what did I tell you about running? What did I tell you about running?
You said you're not doing it. You said if you're running, you guys better run even faster and get away because something big and scary is chasing you. Right? Yeah, yep. I got you. Fair enough. So who wouldn't want to talk about runners all day? Second, you have the same schedule as your runners, which means you get holidays like shows, days off from work. So anytime one of your favorite shows is on, you get a day off. Sounds good. And let's not forget about the entire sweaty summer. Well played, sir. Third, never underestimate how hungry it is to have the teacher answer the nurse. That quickly holds on to all, I don't know where this is going right now. It's not making sense quickly here. That quickly holds on to all the answers in the house. Sorry. But most quickly, the best thing about being a nurse is the amazing students. Those students and those runners make it all worthwhile. That one might have been a stretch.
It was a little bit. I got confused about midway through. I'm not going to lie.
It's ironic to me that the story about Schmeagol made more sense than the story about teaching and being a nurse. But hey, it's all good. That's the joy of Mad Libs. And again, if we're trying to teach our kids reflection, revising, and editing, maybe having a hot mess like that is exactly what we need, because the kids will be like, oh, I can fix that very easily. So, very cool. Mad,
absolutely.
Did your boys like to do Mad Libs? Were they Mad Libbers?
They were, we used to do them on car rides, like long trips. We would bring like a Mad Lib, and it was great, except for like it always revolved around like poop and butts and like, you got two boys in the car for long periods of time. Like, it was like, guys, you got to come up with something besides like gross body functions and stuff like that. So
that's awesome. So harmless game today, right? Just kind of fun. Something
I can handle that one.
It's a nice little activity to do towards the end of the year. So if you're a teacher thinking about ways to do this, think about any of the content that you've taught this year. Come up with a story about the content, whether it's history or science, math, social studies, one of the arts. You can have famous explorers that they have to fill in to describe. You could have famous places. You could have artwork. You can do this with any subject. It's a great review activity to do with kids in any way, shape, or form. When you're looking to fill in those last 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5 weeks, whatever you got left, with meaningful activities where you can assess kids and have fun at the same time. Good job, Bree. Nice job, Ray. Love it. Good stuff. Well, we got time for one more little segment before we wrap up today. Are you cool if we transition and start talking about things that are coming up in our lives and our worlds and looking ahead towards the future?
Let's do it.
Good, because we're doing it with or without you, Ray. I'm just glad I didn't have to kick you off the screen. All right, we are back for the last segment of the show of Brain Break, where we've just been taking a break, playing some games, talking Mad Libs, talking TV shows, talking about cooking dinner, talking about deep fried hot dogs from a.
The hot dogs aren't deep fried.
Okay, well, I don't know of a whole lot of Mexican restaurants that sell hot dogs, but you found the place. So regardless, we've been having a lot of random conversations. This has reminded me of the old days of cocktails and randomness, with just a lot of randomness tonight. But it's been good. I want to take a minute and just look ahead at some things that are happening. In just a second, Ray, I'm going to ask you what's going on in your world. What are you looking forward to in the coming weeks, months, or years ahead? But before we talk about you specifically, let me talk about the team real quick. Teach Better Team, things that are happening. because none of the bosses are here, I'm going to share some secrets, and if they catch me, so what? It's all good. It's already out in the world. One secret I'm going to throw out there. Teach Better Conference is happening in October. Proposals just closed. Lots of amazing proposals. I've been spending the last couple of days just going through and looking at a lot of proposals and reading them and analyzing them. I don't know if people are aware of this, though. One of the things that we're doing at the conference is we're going to have a bookstore available. So there are a lot of people out there, a lot of educators that we're both friends with that have written some incredible education books that are out there to change the lives and change the practices in classrooms. We're going to have a bookstore, and proposals are now available. If you want to submit your book to be part of the bookstore, you can go to teachbetterconference.com and you can get information about how to do that. So you can get your books in the Teach Better Conference bookstore and sell your books to amazing educators that are coming in from around the world to hang out. You can still register for the Teach Better Conference as well. So if you're looking for something to do in mid-October and you want to hang out with a bald guy in a baseball hat, come hang out with me and struggle through Akron, Ohio in October. We can all put up with Ohio for a couple of days just to hang out together. So do that as well. Also, supposed to tell you two more things. Supposed to tell you that there's a course out in the academy right now, perfect for the end of the year. Start now to finish better. Brad Hughes is the mastermind behind that. So go check that out in the academy. And last but not least, Teacher Appreciation Week taking place right now. Over at teachbetter.com/appreciation, giving away 22 amazing gifts for educators right now. So go to teachbetter.com/appreciation and register, get yourself in the running for all of that amazingness. So there's the commercial. That's a lot. Outside of all of that stuff, Ray, I know we're coming up on summertime. We're coming up on spring, coming up on a lot of just breathing room. What are you looking forward to in the coming days, weeks, and months ahead?
Coming days. Dave, come on. We Mother's Day's coming up, and we both have kids and moms and wives, and so that always trying to make that special. So that is coming up, and gonna try to do right by my wife and mom and mother-in-law and everybody on that. And then honestly,
tell you what a better person you are than me and probably a lot of other people out there. I said, what are you looking forward to? And you said Mother's Day, so I can take care of all the mothers in my life. That is awesome, Ray. You're a good guy, dude.
You know me. My life is just super busy all the time, and so I'm like, that's the next thing I'm like on my mind. And so and when you go past that, summer's coming up, and I think I joked, I don't know how many school days are left to school, and it's just kind of like I keep going, and one day the kids aren't here and the teachers aren't here, and I'm like, oh, last day was yesterday. But because I like it more when the kids are in the building. It's too quiet when everybody's not here. But summer is a time to kind of like catch up. It'll let me start getting into the masterminds more, which I do miss. Getting into the Teach Better masterminds on Tuesday mornings. So that'll get me into that. When the weather's nicer, I'm in Illinois. We had the first day, like the first time I've seen sun in weeks today. But I want to get out and do some fishing with my boys, and we got a little pond we go to that they stock with fish, and it's just a good time. Get up and get some fishing in the morning and on the weekends and some of that. So yeah, pretty low key, not a lot of big stuff going on. So
perfect stuff though. Like I told you early on, you're a guy that seems to have your priorities in line and in order. You're super busy, but you're always doing the important stuff. So that's awesome. I love that. Looking forward to your future, and you're focusing on the mothers in your life, fishing with your boys. That's it, man.
Yeah.
You've got life figured out. So anybody out there that's spinning right now and you feel like you're just juggling things, connect yourself with Ray Porton. He will keep you focused on the priorities in life and just get you smiling, laughing. And it makes you feel good about yourself too, because you're striving to be just a little bit better, just like him. So,
what about you? What are you looking forward to?
Well, now I'm almost ashamed to answer that question because everything I'm excited about is all about me. So
that's important, though.
No, I'm excited. I'm spending quite a bit of time in airplanes and rental cars here coming up, and I'm excited about connecting with new people. It feels like it's already summer down here. It's super hot and thick and almost that gross feeling when you step outside. But I love that. I love just being outside and melting when I walk outside. So I'm excited to enjoy those days, go for some of those long runs in the sun and just come back crisp and gross. And I kind of like it. And I'm excited about trying to find some Mexican hot dogs. I'm excited about going on a hunt. I'm heading to Illinois in a couple of weeks, so I'm gonna start knocking on some restaurant doors and saying, "Do you have those Mexican hot dogs here? Because I heard they're good," and see what I can find. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
All right.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. I'm also excited just to hang out and do a bunch of things with the team. Lots of things that are happening right now. So, Ray, I appreciate you finding some time to hang out tonight. I know Wednesdays are important days for you and your family, so I hope that you can get home, enjoy watching some TV with the kiddos, get some good food on the way home, make people smile, enjoy Mother's Day. To all the teachers that are out there, continue to enjoy this week. I hope that you are just being spoiled rotten. If you're not, let me know, and I'll try to figure out a way that I can spoil you in our own special way here.
And,
so,
I mean, but you and I have talked about it. Teacher appreciation ideally happens all year long.
True, sure.
Doesn't just like Mother's Day, you know, we shouldn't be just celebrating on those days. We should be trying to take care of the people all the time. And I know it's hard, so it's good to be intentional about it this week. And the teachers deserve it because they are working hard and doing the hard work all the time. Doing the work, right?
That's the truth. They're doing God's work. So celebrate them, love them. If you see somebody that you know is a teacher, buy them a coffee, buy them lunch, give them a hug, give them a high five. Just tell them that they're doing amazing work, like you said, and just spoil them as much as you can. So, Ray, I appreciate you, buddy. I appreciate you as a friend. I appreciate you as a man. Appreciate you as an educator and all the things that you do. Keep being absolutely incredible. Go lean into your family, and I will see you soon.
See you later. Thanks for having me.